Okay, we're doing similar polygons. That was what the assignment, or that was what the lesson was. Again, there's a lot of stuff going on. The biggest things that I needed you to make sure you understand were which sides of the shapes that matched up with each other. And then once you figure out the sides of the shapes that matched up with each other, then we could start to put together which angles were going to be kind of the same. This one, for the sake of it, I didn't write the congruency statement with the different triangles, but just know that AB and RS are the same, or corresponding shapes, the BC, ST, the CD, the TU, the VU, and the ED, and then AE, and then RV. Those are all going to be the same corresponding sides. Okay, so since I have just 3 of them, I'm just going to highlight those 3 different sides. Okay, those are the sides that correspond together. These sides will correspond together. And then these sides will correspond together. Reminder, when I put them in as a cross product, I need to make sure I have a specific shape that's going to stay on the top, a specific one that's going to stay on the bottom. So for this very first one, I'm going to say this will be my top number, this will be my bottom. Okay, I know it was an entire weekend ago. What 2 numbers will I write for my very first fraction to show the kind of that ratio? Any thoughts?
What do you say?
Which 2 numbers am I going to write for my very first ratio, for that very first fraction? You want me to do the yellow one, the blue one, or the green one?
Doesn't matter.
For this one, yes. The yellow one, I agree with the yellow one. I'm going to use the yellow one because it has actual numbers. There's no variables. I know for sure that's going to give me constant numbers. So my very first one, I'll have that 6 over 4 equals. Now, as you mentioned, this is the part where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I choose the green one. It doesn't matter if I choose the blue one. As long as I choose the same, I'm going to say for this one, the same color, and I set it up in the exact same order. So let's say I'm going to choose the green one for right now. What will my top number be? 8. Make sure this one goes in the top. I labeled it with top and bottom so I know which side of the fraction I'm going to put it. I'm going to put 8 on the top. What am I going to put on the bottom? Y plus 1. Fantastic. Now it just turns into a cross multiply. I've got that 6 times the quantity of y plus 1. 4 times 8. Again, I'm going to do these ones together and then those ones together. This needs to get distributed to everything. So I get 6y plus 6 equals 32. Subtract 6 from both sides. I get 6y equals 26. And then you divide both sides by 6. My y value is, I can say 26 over 6, or I'll just simplify it down to 13 over 3. And I'll have that be my answer. If you have a decimal, because I don't have my calculator on me, I can go grab that in a second. That's what I'm going to get for my y. I want you to solve for x. Do the same steps. I want you to solve for what x should be in this problem. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I turned that into.
Sure, I'm just going to put it in there. Right after this.
over 4 equals X over 3. Cross it, so if it's 6 times 3, it's going to be 4 times that. Yeah, can you look that up? You can look it up. Yeah, how to get it. And then what? No, no. What more do you have?
I'll give you about 30 more seconds.
I'll let you get to it.
No, you're good. You're good. All right, and 30 seconds is up. Ricky, what'd you get for your answer?
9 over 2.
9 over 2. Anybody get something different? I agree with the 9 over 2. So the way you should have set it up was going to be that same 6 over 4. And then we had the x over 3. Okay, we're going to do the cross multiplying. So it should be 6 times 3 equals 4 times the x. So you should have 18 equals 4x. Divide both sides by 4. Divide both sides by 4. I should get 18 divided by 4. If I wanted to simplify it down, it could be 9 over 2. Or I could say 4.5. And that's going to equal x. So I could have x equals that, or I could say x equals 4.5. Either one's good. On a scale of thumbs up to thumbs down, how you feeling? Okay, I like it. The very last one we're going to do, the last part, is going to be dealing with perimeters. I'm not too concerned on being able to let you guys know how to match them up. Okay, you guys kind of figure that stuff out. First off, what's a perimeter?
Outside.
The distance all the way around the outside. Awesome. Okay, if we have similar polygons, the ratios are going to be the same for those perimeters as well. Okay, their perimeters will be proportional to the scale factor between the sides. Okay, so if I look at this first shape, I'll let you guys have a chance to kind of write it down. Okay, we've got shape MNPQ is similar to XYZW. Again, the order of the letters is important. Find the scale factor of MNPQ to XYZW. Remember, the first thing they told us is going to be the top one. The second one's going to be the bottom one. And then find the perimeter. So first we'd have to find the scale factor. Then we need to find the perimeter. So I'll give you a chance to write it, and then I'm going to start working through it with you. All right, because I like to highlight mine and just kind of get mine a little organized, I'm going to highlight my sides just to show you which ones are going to correspond with each other. The first one starts off with MN. Those are my first two letters. XY are my first two letters for the other one. Then I've got NP, and then YZ. So NP, YZ, PQ, ZW, and then my last ones will be WX and MQ. Again, I'm putting all those colors out there just to show you how I can figure out which side is actually going to match up with it. All right, so with that first example, okay, I'm going to find the scale factor of MNP. That's the first one it says. So MNP, this will be my top number. 2XYZW. The second one they gave me is going to be my bottom. So I'm going to write it right away. They wanted this one to be the top, this one to be the bottom. They wanted that to be the scale factor they're looking for. Again, order is important. Now I will look to figure out which colors they have. Okay, which sides are going to match up. I see that 8 and 4 are the ones that will be the same.
8 and 4 is 12. You know that.
All right, so again, it's going to be set up as that fraction. It's going to be as that ratio. So I'm going to do 8 divided by 4. That simplifies down to 2 over 1. Or I can just say 2. So my scale factor is 2 to 1. I can say 2 to 1, or I could put it 2 over 1 as a fraction. That's my scale factor. Look. Okay, now here is where I can do some steps without having to figure out every single individual side. I could if I wanted to. However, that's a lot of work and I shouldn't have to do that. I can find the perimeter of this shape pretty quick, right? I'm just going to add up all 4 sides. Okay, I've got 10 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9. Okay, that gives me 19, 27, 35?
Plus 9. I don't know. Ours is
34. Okay,
10 plus 7 plus 8.
so
I didn't include that.
my perimeter of my top one, of this one here, is going to be 34. Okay? It's going to be the same scale factor. So I can set it up exactly the same as the other one. So if my scale factor, I'll put my scale here, and then I'll say this is my perimeter one. So my scale factor was a 2 to 1. My perimeter for the big one was 34, and I have to figure out what the bottom one is. I can just do that cross multiplication. Okay, I'm going to do x times 2, and then 34 times 1. If I wanted to go through and do the long work, it'd be 2x equals 34. So then x equals 17, because I'm going to divide both sides by that 2. So the perimeter of this polygon is going to be 17. It'll be the exact same scale factor. I can set it up exactly the same using those ratios. So the perimeter is going to equal 17. I'm going to say the small one. Did that make sense on what I did? Again, I could have gone through and done every single one of those and say, all right, well, this one is half the size. So divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. This would have been a 4.5, 5, and then 3.5, and added them all up that way. But because I already have the perimeter, it's going to be the exact same scale factor. Okay, so here's scale factor. Here's a perimeter. Good? Okay, I'm going to do the exact same thing with you guys. Okay, this one is going to be a little bit trickier, mainly because I don't have lengths for every single side yet. This one has the bottom ones and the top ones. This one has the top ones and the side ones. But I don't know the side here. I don't know the bottom here. Scale factor will still figure this the same way. So the sides that'll match up, these ones will all be the same length. These ones will be the same length. And then these ones will all be the same length. Now I want you guys to talk me through this one. I want you to help me out and figure out how I could solve this one. All right, so it starts off and it says, what is the scale factor of A, B, C, D, E to R, S, T, U, V? Which one is going to be, of those shapes, which one will be my top number for the scale factor? The little house-looking thing or the big house-looking thing? Which one? The little one. It says A, B, C, D, E first, because that's the first one they say. That one needs to be my top one. This one was second, so this one needs to be my bottom one. Looking at this, can I figure out my scale factor right now?
Yeah.
Yes, how do I do it? Caleb. It was a very confident yes, though, and I appreciate that.
I didn't say it.
Oh,
It was
who said it? Ricky, okay. I just heard the sound from right there. All right, Ricky, what do you got? How can I figure it out? 4 over 7. I agree. Why'd you choose those two?
Because they're whole numbers and they're on the same color.
Yeah, they're on the same color. They're both whole numbers. There's no fractions. There's no like variables that go with it. So I agree. So my scale factor is going to be 4 over 7 or 4 to 7. You do not have to write it as a decimal unless you really want to. If it's a fraction, simplify it down to the simplest fraction you can. But this is simplified. Okay, so our scale factor, so I can say it here. My scale factor is 4 to 7. In order for me to figure out the perimeter of each polygon, any thoughts on how I can figure that part out? Or what I can do? I know Ricky's got this, so I'm not gonna call on you. It's not you, it's me. Any thoughts on how I can figure out the other sides of either shape? I'll give you a hint. It has to do with cross multiplying. So no matter what, that 4 over 7 is going to stay there. Do I have a brave soul who might tell me 2 numbers that I can put in for my next fraction?
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so we've got 10.5 and 6 to choose from. Are they the same colors?
No.
No, so I'm going to choose either one of those. Okay, either one. Which one do you want? The 10.5 or the 6? I'm good with either. 6. Okay, so if we're going to choose the 6, will that be on the top part of the fraction or the bottom part? Top.
How do we put 1 on the bottom?
We're not going to put 1 on the bottom. We don't know. We don't know what this side is. So if this is 6, if this is 6 here, I have no idea what that one is. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put a little note on there, and put X on that. Okay. So if that was the 6 for the top one, I know my bottom number over here is going to be an X. Now I can go through, and now I can do my cross products. Okay, doing that sort of thing. So I've got 4 times X equals 6 times 7. So I got 4X equals 42. divide both sides by 4. I get x equals, I'm going to get the decimal here, 10.5. All right, so instead of having this be 10 or an x, I'm going to rewrite it as 10.5. Okay. Now, if I want to figure out that other side, I can either figure out the other side or I can go through and just figure out the perimeter and do the same scale factor again. But if I want to do that other side, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it for fun, I still have that same fraction, 4 over 7 equals. Okay, the other choice that we had was 10.5. Do we know what the top was?
Well, don't we already have it solved if the bottom one on that one is 10.5? Aren't those three, but they're equal? They're
The other
equal.
one's 6.
So,
The bottom one and the
yes.
ST and UT and RS are the same.
Okay,
doesn't that mean that
what?
GC,
Yes.
PC,
What Ricky figured out, what Ricky saw right away, is correct. He saw that these sides, these ones are both 10.5, and this one was also 10.5. So if these are the exact same, then that stands to reason that all of these will be the exact same. Okay, I'm going to go through and I'm going to do the work, but yes, you caught it right away. If you didn't see it right away, it's going to work the same way. I'll say this one's a Y. Okay, so I'm going to multiply these ones out. I got 4 times 10.5 equals 7 times Y. I get 40, 40, that's not right. I'm struggling here. 42, 42. 42 equals 7y. Divide both by 7. My y value equals 6. So I know what the 6, or I know that one's going to be 6. I know that was the 10.5. The last part they asked, though, was what is the perimeter? It says, what's the perimeter of each polygon? How do I figure out the perimeter? Add all the sides. Okay, so this one would be 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4. Okay, do all the math on that one. This one's going to come out to 26. Okay, if I do the other one, I got 10.5 plus 7. That one is going to come out for my perimeter to 45.5. How you guys feeling? Okay. All right. Your assignment then. It's a little bit of everything. Okay. There were 5 total things that we went through. You're going to have 10 total questions, so 5 of each. Your assignment then is page 473, 8 through 14 even, 18 through 20,